Hey, welcome back to another IndySoft Tip Tuesday. I'm Chuck, and I'll be walking us through how to clone companies today. So, cloning equipment is something that we've been over in the past, but a lot of people have asked me, how can I clone a company? I have a company template that I've set up. I want to clone it and create new companies based on that so I don't have to keep entering the same information over and over. I get this a lot, so I actually came up with a kind of nifty way to do it with everything that's in the client. And everything we're going to go over today has been there for a while, so even some of the people who are watching that haven't upgraded to the newest version yet, you'll still be able to implement these tips and tricks to clone your companies. So in our example today, I have a pharma template. This company is, in my scenario, just kind of a template full of gauges, or in this case, gauge, that I don't want to set up every time I go to an on-site pharmacy and do the same work for them. So what we're going to do is actually clone this company and keep the old template and do work on the new one so that the next time I have a new client, I can just clone the template again. Now, if that doesn't make sense, all you really need to know is that for whatever reason, if you need to clone your company, this is how you do it. So we'll check out some of these fields here in our pharma template. I've just checked off a couple of statuses here. You could realistically fill out as much of this as you want, but in this scenario, just real quickly, I set up a few status boxes. So what we're going to do to actually clone is go over to our export-import module. So what we're going to do is export equipment, events, and action requests, and then change our selection on the equipment to select equipment finder only. Now, if you have a company you want to clone and they have events on the gauges, but you don't want to pull those events over, I would just switch this to select event finder, and then when you do your select later on, just make sure you don't actually pull in any events. Just leave it blank. But in our scenario, we don't have any events on that anyway, so I'll leave it as all just to simplify it. So we also don't want to delete from the database. Make sure you leave this unchecked. So if we go to export, we can clear it from last time and just pull in our gauge and add that. And we'll save it to the desktop here. We'll say pharma template. Okay, now that that has been exported, we can go to our add edit list, and some of you may be catching on right now. But what we're going to do actually is just go ahead and rename this. So we're going to say this is pharmacy 2. Put a space in there and click OK. Now it's going to go through the database and verify anytime it says pharma template, it's going to change that to pharmacy 2. Now, if you've got a lot of instances where this is popping up, this could take a while, but for us, it should be pretty quick. So I'll go ahead and kick that off. And we have now renamed our template company. So what we're going to do now is back over on the export-import module, we're just going to import that file we just sent out. And since we renamed the old company, we won't have a conflict when importing this file. So it's going to create all new assets, all in a new company, and it's going to be just a straight up clone. So what we're going to do is import, click our file. We can preview it, but I trust that I set it up correctly, so I'm just going to click import. Okay, and then we can go check our companies, and our template is back. So now we can indefinitely clone this company and make changes to it over time if we really want to, and kind of have just a way to create companies really quickly without having to input individual gauge information and all that. So I hope this tip will help you out. I know it's kind of a niche situation that you would be in to clone a company, but I know a lot of people have been pulling their hair out trying to get this done. So hopefully those guys can now get on and won't have to spend as much time entering information. Until next week, happy calibrating.